Oh, hey, hey, I heard the first 30 seconds of a video are the most important. So I tried to sit there for 30 seconds and do nothing just because it's my first time back. And I'm glad to be back, guys. It's been a wild month, but we're here. We have Wally Kern tonight. We're going to talk about Notion. We're going to talk about the channel later. So if you stick around, you're going to hear some cool stuff like the future of the channel. I haven't talked about it with Wally even. So we're going to go into that with at the end with Wally still here. So, and get his real reaction and get your real reactions, because some of you kind of have an idea, but I think you'll be surprised, hopefully pleasantly. So, but anyway, we're back and we have snacks. We have whatever this is, Tap Room Snacks by Sprecher. It's pronounced Sprecher in the original German. They're my favorite snacks, my favorite root beer. Well, I've never had their snacks, to be honest. It's my favorite root beer and sodas, and they have a Griffin, which is the far superior fantasy beast. This is the draft mix. I don't know what any of those things mean. I don't know what taproom snacks are. I don't know what draft mix is. I'm guessing for like fantasy football. I don't know. And then we have, this is for you guys. Okay. We're going to get some other horrible sodas that we know the flavor of, but this is Mountain Dew Voodoo mystery flavor. So yeah, it kind of looks like Pepsi Clear, but not as clear. I don't know. I'm super scared, you guys. As long as it's not mango, I think we'll be okay. Mango is the worst flavor on the planet, so I'm hoping to God it's not mango. But let's bring Wally on and see what's up. And we're gonna talk to Wally Kern tonight. Not waffle sickles. No waffles. Here he comes. Boop.
I'm here.
There's Wally. We could have both sat there just quietly for 30 seconds.
I'm a little subdued tonight. Just kind of taking it easy, kind of chilling.
I'm glad you left that preposterous living room and decided to show up.
And my very quaint little office here.
Regular Wally. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. The office is good. Look, we already have Laura Taylor. We got Frank. We got Jedi Monkey. We had, who else did we have? Somebody when we first came on. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst at this. Oh, a Kate DeJonia. She's probably one of yours too. Laura stayed up special for this.
Oh, Laura, that's pretty cool.
She did.
Is it like 2 a.m. for you there? No, I know you work and your schedules are kind of crazy.
That's everybody.
So tell me again what you're drinking.
Oh, well, we're going to crack it open here. Are you ready? This is Mountain Dew. This is Voodoo, right? So Dew is spelled like Mountain Dew. Let me see.
What's the line from Blazing Saddles? Do that voodoo that you do so well.
Well, let's see if this puts me down like voodoo. We're going to do the smell test first. Okay, we're going to crack it open. All right, here we go. Cracked. Okay. It smells like Sweet Tarts. I'm going to throw that out. It smells like Sweet Tarts. I'm sure you know what that is. Or like, no, it smells like, what are those, Pixie Sticks? So it smells like straight sugar.
Like the Fun Dips?
Kinda.
Yeah, okay.
Pixie Sticks was kind of its own thing, right? They were the paper tubes with the sugar inside. So Here we go. Cheers, Wally. Cheers. All right.
I'm in a word.
It is. It tastes like Pixie Sticks. Like it wasn't sweet enough.
That's not a bad thing. I think that your next show you should have that as a challenge.
Cotton candy?
If I would have known, you could have had a Pixie Stick. I could have had a Fun Dip, and we could have just tried to chug it all at one shot.
Oh God. Oh my God. No. Oh, you know what I do still have though? I still have some human grade isopod chow. So
good stuff. It's just it tastes exactly like Pixie Sticks.
Almost. Cheers. That's from like the last time you were on. Good Lord.
That was like a year and a half ago. So it's like clumpy now.
It was clumpy to start with, but I think I have diabetes.
Just from eating one scoop of that.
You guys need diabetes? Do you need to have some kind of disability? Try Wally's Iso Chow. It's the Iso Buddies version, special flavor. Goes good with breakfast cereal. Waffles. Goes great with waffles. You should try it, guys.
It sounds like a promotional video that I need to do. A YouTube short.
Okay, we can do that.
Yep.
More on shorts later. So we're here to talk about organization, Wally. Again, I feel like this is a theme with us recently, the last year or so.
And someday we'll get it right, maybe.
Yeah, so here's the deal, guys. I keep asking Wally on to talk about organization because he's one of the most organized people I know. And I feel like it's a big failing in the hobby. A lot of us, and this is true, this is actual observational truth. Scientific study proves that most isopod keepers and exotics keepers are ADHD or ADD, and they have that tendency, or they have that brain that never stops. So you need organization. So Wally introduced me to Notion. I was using Google Notes, right? Is that what it is? Google Note, yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Across
Google Docs.
Google Docs. So across platform, it was working pretty well. But Wally showed me Notion, and I got to be honest, I was like, yeah, sure, I need another one of these half-ass journaling apps, that kind of works on my phone. It kind of works on my computer. I have to say, Notion works really well. It's very easy to use. I know that I haven't unlocked a third of what it can do yet. But I'm using it. I'm not using it for my animals at all. I still have my pen and paper notebooks for my ants. That's the only thing I keep journals on at all. And I just glanced at my one tank of shrimp, and I have about 50 shrimp in there now, I think.
What were you saying about ADHD? I'm sorry.
Exactly.
A squirrel.
Squirrel. I relate to that so well. So I use it for, I'm writing a comic book. I have a children's book thing that I'm still working on. My Dungeons and Dragons group, some work related stuff, some stuff with my kid. I have like ADHD version of Notion. So there's 20 different like books that I have in there to go through. And then all kinds of subfolders in each one. The comic book one, honestly, is the biggest. With the second biggest one being like the Dungeons and Dragons one. So there's all kinds of uses for this app, guys. But we're going to get into Wally's version, the king of the spreadsheets himself, and see if he's got some tips and tricks. So lay it on us, Wally. Where do we go from here?
So a couple of questions. Number one, right now, can you hear any kind of an echo? Everybody in the chat, let me know if you hear any kind of an echo. Number two, can you see my screen, and what does it look like right now? What are you seeing on my screen? Are you seeing the Notion at all?
I see, it looks like a gecko header. I can't really read it, but it looks like there's a gecko header on there. Yeah.
Perfect. So if nobody's hearing echoes, that's cool. And if you can see the Notion itself, that's super cool, because I'm going to show what I use personally in Notion in just a second. I'm going to tell everybody. I guess I want to know from your viewers what some of their biggest challenges are with organization.
These are mostly your viewers.
Well,
let's ask
from
them.
Our viewers.
Who else do we get? We got Cage and Jodian.
Is it getting things? No echo. Cool. And yes, gecko. Is it trying to get things done? Is it wishing that you had 48 hours a day? Is it that you have sticky notes and a whiteboard? If you don't see my whiteboard, I still have 4 or 5 pieces of thing here. I've got one sticky note on my wall right here. I used to have Excel spreadsheets. I used to have Google Sheets. I used to have Google Docs. I used to have notepads. I would write myself an email, don't forget to pay taxes tomorrow, and send myself an email. Does anybody else do stuff like that? Finding the motivation to get up and move. I like that one a lot, because that's a good one, and we can talk about that. So lots of places to find this stuff, at least for me, right?
Yeah.
Same with you or not?
Yeah, I need to have it handy. Like that's the thing that I like about this is that it's handy in my pocket, right, ready to go wherever I'm at. I have it. So I have it on my tablet. I have it on my phone. I have it here on the computer. I have it here on my desktop. So I personally find it's a lot easier to edit and change things on the computer, just for the size. So I have big, clumpy fingers, and it doesn't work very well. Um, but it is super easy to access from my phone, all of my notes, and I can make edits there or add notes. That's the easiest thing to do. Um, yeah, yeah, but I definitely need more organization and have it be easier. I need my organization to be easy.
Yes, yes. And I find the same thing. Before I started using Notion, I was putting things in notebooks and sticky notes and on the whiteboard. So I would get downstairs, and then it's like, okay, which animal did I need to move where? And so I would have to run upstairs and take a phone print screen of my task list and come down. Or I would go into Sheets and it would be like scroll, scroll, too many tabs. This is too hard to use. So it was always a problem going mobile and then computer. I'm on my computer about 90% of the time, and mobile probably 10, maybe even less than that. So that wasn't real convenient for me. And I've got to go back to I lost the comment. Green Jedi Monkey says, once I'm in motion, I get stuff done, but initiating a task is rough. It is to me as well. So I used to have all of these tasks all over the place. Which one should I work on? I have no flipping idea. I know I have to get a video done today, and I know I have to get some shorts, and I have to pick up the laundry, and I have to pick up lunch, and I have to. But how do I prioritize? I have no idea. And in the middle of the day, it's like, all hands on deck, just get whatever I can think of next done. And sometimes it's like, well, I'll do it when the Flintstones are over. And ultimately, it's 4 o'clock and Nanette's walking in the door. It's like, what did you do all day, Wally? And it's like, I wanted to do a lot of stuff and I didn't.
It's more
So
like, what did I yabba dabba do today? Right?
what did I yabba dabba do? Jetson,
For everyone under 40, that's a Flintstones reference. Would you go to the Jetsons after that?
Nobody knows what that is. So, that was my problem too, and when I don't know what's important, or in my mind, here's a worst case scenario. When I have too much on my plate, I get lost. I get completely lost and I get overwhelmed, and then I don't get anything done. And then I feel bad that I didn't get anything done. And the next day comes and there's more stuff to do. And it's like, I still feel bad and I don't want to get stuff done because I feel lazy. And so there's got to be a way to organize all of this stuff and prioritize. And that's what I started doing about a year and a half ago. I started watching some videos. I downloaded Notion because everybody was using Notion. Everybody was using Notion to organize. Everybody was using Notion to put their tasks and projects and notes in. So I started using Notion, and it probably took about a month and a half to 2 months to really get comfortable with using it. Sounds like you took like a week or so. And hats off, congratulations to you. But it took me about a month and a half to feel like I was really starting to utilize it. But if you don't mind, I'd love to show Notion, especially how I'm using it. Now, I'm going to move the screen a little bit here, so maybe we can see this.
There we go. Yeah, look at it there, guys.
Yeah.
I want him to focus on me. It's my show. I'm back, so we're gonna.
We might need to make that screen bigger so people can see. So Notion is, Notion is a blank slate. It really is. You can start with a template. Like I've developed a template for reptile keepers, and I can share that with people. But I also have my weekly agenda here. So in my weekly agenda, if everybody can see this, simple header, you can customize that. You can make it pretty. But here's my 2023 goals, my YouTube interview schedule, my YouTube short ideas. I'm trying to look around my camera, my unassigned tasks, my 12 Supreme Days of Christmas, obviously. Bear with me. I'm trying to look around here. My completed tasks, my inquiries. But here's the big key for me is my big goals. Here's what I want to work on and get done this week. Work on Notion, work on product promotion. Here's the key goals this week. More promoting of my Supreme Isopod chow using YouTube Shorts. And here's my YouTube schedule. Those are the important things that I have to get done. So now I can break this down into a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, next week. Too much to even think about. This is my unassigned. I don't want to lose it. You know, it's going to be out there somewhere. I don't want to lose it, so I put it in my unassigned. What's cool about this is that as I go through, oops, I went too far. As I go through here, let's say I don't get something done. Boy, this is hard watching the screen. If I don't get something done, all I have to do is move it over to the next day. Let's say, you know, it's not done. If I want to finish it, I click on it and it's done. I've also, this is pretty cool, and maybe you do this and maybe you don't, but I also have at the bottom, I'm going to do this, go all the way down to the bottom. I have a toggle of completed stuff. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to just delete that. So I move it over to my completed list. And then at the end of the week, I can move my whole list of what I completed that week to this completed list on top. But it's so easy to organize every single day so that I know exactly when I get up in the morning what I have to do. Does that mean that I have to do it? Does that mean that I have to, you know, succeed and get every single one of these things done? Doesn't, but it's my guide. It's my, hopefully my instructions of what needs to be done today and actually what's key for the whole week. This has led me to obviously get more stuff done because it keeps all of this in focus. What's cool about this is I can take it downstairs and in the facility, I can say, okay, I forgot. I had 3 things I wanted to get done today. Let me go check on my phone and I can bring it up and I can scroll right down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this is my schedule, but I have so much more in here. Like, I just want to show you this real quick.
Yeah,
I have big project ideas. I don't know if we can see that. I have notes. I have animal care sheets. You can put all kinds of stuff in here. So I have animal care sheets on geckos, miscellaneous isopods, insects. I go into geckos. Each one of these is a separate page. Now I can go into Periodora picta, and I can look at egg incubation, morph comments, color variants, and I can just keep drilling more and more and more into some of this stuff. I can take, let's say, a Facebook post because somebody posts, here's some information about this gecko from the wild, and I'll copy and paste it right into a note. Very well organized. I'm going to keep going back here. Very well organized. I can go right in and add more. I can add a link. I can add a video. I can add anything that I want to so that later on I can come right to this one source of information and find that piece of information about a gecko or an isopod or whatever. What else can I show you here? Notes. All kinds of notes. Let's see if we can pull some of this up. I take notes, miscellaneous notes on podcasts, Notion notes, on photography, on CapCut, my video editing, movies. Here's some movies that I want to eventually see that I haven't seen yet. So I'll just throw it in this movie note thing. Retirement, important information, what to say in YouTube videos. Just, you can put whatever and you can organize it any way that you want to. I think that you're using notes probably way more than I am, whereas I'm probably using the task management more than you are.
Yes, absolutely. Like your template was really, really good. I was using it for a little while, and then I was like not getting things done and then being very overcritical of myself, so it made it even worse. So I had to stop for a little bit using that. So I have the big goals section is like, okay, let's get this done. Let's get this done. And then those are all broken down. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time during my time off working with it to try to get it to where I can do it. And then I realized I don't need Notion for all of my projects because I have a wife. So she's a great organizer for me. Yeah, let me just say.
I tend to use it to organize my life because we have so many things going on. You know, being retired, I get to fill 10 to 12 hours of my day with gecko stuff and social media stuff and family stuff and just all over the place. So with so many balls in the air, I have to have something to manage my time, or else, I'll have something like, well, I have to do the video today. Well, that'll be the one thing that I do all day because that'll be my focus. But really, doing the video probably will take 4 or 5 hours. So I better have other things in there in under like Wednesday that I'm doing rather than just doing a video. Our time tends to fill it with what we have initially on our plate to focus on. Like if I
Yeah.
had just the video, if I thought, okay, Wednesday I have to do that video, I'll spend the whole day doing just the video and nothing else.
Okay. And then feel accomplished for having done it.
And then feel accomplished for having done it, even though I
See.
probably spent 4 or 5 hours on it. And I also watched the Flintstones for 3 or 4 hours. And
3 or 4 hours.
I like the Flintstones.
Clearly. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I found out they have Flintstone action figures now, where were those when I was a kid?
Right.
I don't know. Yeah. Why would they make those
Bam
now?
Bam. I went
Bam
Bam
Bam was
Bam.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love that he would grab Fred by the finger and throw him around the room.
I want the action figure I want is Anne Margrock.
Have a good night, Kate. Anne Margrock. Oh my God. That's a deep cut. Kate
one
joined us. She's got to get up at 4:10 in the morning. I feel super blessed that she's here today.
Thanks,
That's
Kate.
Awesome. Yeah, we even got Frank. I didn't get to say hi to Frank, and Fishy Plumber's here too. So, see? No, I use it more for, I have one tab now that's projects too. So, and it's not home projects. It's like, okay, I need to build this setup. I need to build this setup still. And then I have those broken down in steps to try to plan it out. Because this went really well, but there were a lot of things that I messed up. And the last one that I built, the 30-gallon, went really well, but there were a lot of things that messed up. So, not least of all, one whole side of the tank cracking because of the expanding foam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's still there. I put that Flex Seal tape on there. It worked just fine. So, an obscene amount of silicone sealer. But yeah, you can see, okay, there you go. You've got your YouTube header. I like the pictures that you're putting at the top for the headers.
That makes it easier. Just kind of making it pretty, but it's also, you can color code it to, be specific to what you're working on. I was just hoping that I could come in here and find one of my scripts. So I'll also do, bear with me for a second. I think so I get, like you're talking about with your task list, do this, do this, do this, do this. I'll also, for my YouTube videos, because I'm Mr. Organized and I have to have everything scripted out. I'll also come in here and start creating a script when I have an idea about some topic, like Crusty Gecko Roundtable, and I'll put on questions and fill it in so that I can come back here and maybe not read off of this, but at least have an idea, kind of an outline of what I want to do in that video.
I try to go over. That's how I have my notes. I need to do it for the show too. I go over the notes beforehand, probably a couple days in a row, and then they're kind of in my head because then I can be like, oh, okay, yeah, this. So
Exactly.
Little bullet points, because, live streams they're not scripted at all.
I can do a video, and even though I don't, maybe get it done right away, at least I can come back here and say, okay, at least I started the script. I'm not just having ideas and then a month later, now I know I wanted to do a video on this, but I can't remember all the pieces. So I can come back in here and pick it up again.
That's a killer for me too. I'll have people contact me like, you ready to do that video? And they're like, what were we going to talk about? I have no idea. So yeah, I had to take a lot of notes at NARBC because I was like, okay, this is this person. This is this person. Not that anyone's gotten back to me, but more on that later. Yeah, I just love to be able to have it at my fingertips. I can sit down and take, half an hour and organize everything. And it's in half an hour well spent. It's not like I don't know about you, but I don't yet put it in my Notion that I need to plan things in Notion. Like, hey, this half hour this day, use Notion. And then I have to check my Notion to tell me to do Notion.
I think that's more of for me right now, it's more of a habit.
Yeah.
I get up and I look at my email for orders. I look at Facebook to make sure, somebody doesn't have an issue with a gecko and I can help out there. I look at, my buy me a coffee. I look at a couple of places that usually takes me 10, 15, 20 minutes to a half hour or so. And then right away, now my day is going to start. I jump, I'm having my Captain Crunch during that time. Now I go over to Notion and I say, okay, here's the stuff that I need to do. And maybe during the night, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to set up Thursday's interview. So I have to contact some people. So the very first thing I'll do is come in here and say, even though I know I'll do it sometime in the next half hour, I'll still put it in Notion as, again, a reminder that, or not a reminder, but a placeholder to do something. But then as also, I can click it so that I know that, tomorrow or the next day, I already got that done. So don't spend any time thinking about it. It's done. It's out of the way.
I like that. I like your idea of keeping a folder of completed tasks. I think that would be really good for those of us that have a hard time. Like Justin says, sometimes getting going in the morning is hard enough. But if you have that little list to look back on, like, look what I got done today, or look what I got done Tuesday when I didn't even want to. But look at it. Like, there's my completed list of things that I actually did. There you go.
So a lot of these I have in toggle lists. I don't know if you've used toggles, but you can kind of pull it up and see what you did, and I tried to do this completed by I don't know if you can see it, but by a date.
Okay.
But you can go right in and see all the things that you did that week.
I haven't used the toggles yet, but that looks super cool.
And
that's definitely going to happen. Wow. There's so many uses. There's just so many uses for it and applications for this application that you can do anything. Like you have way more like animals to take care of. You have way more involved show. You have all the shorts. You have the instructional videos. You have the live streams multiple times a week. Like that has to be so easy to have that at your fingertips and to keep the here's this guest. I want to talk to this guest about this specific thing. And then you can break it down even further. Like, okay, here's the questions I want to hit. Here's some bullet points I want to hit with that guy or gal. So it's just such a gift. Like, and it's so easy, you guys. I can't even tell you. And we're not getting paid to say this. Well, I'm not.
No, I'm not sponsored by Notion whatsoever. So
it's just that good a product.
It really is. And again, I've been using it for about a year and a half or so. And I'll tell you what, the biggest advantage for me is there's two big advantages.
Yeah.
Number one, I don't have a bunch of sticky notes and things that I have to remember. And I used to have like 20 or 30 things on my whiteboard and 20 or 30 sticky notes and a notebook and an Excel spreadsheet with to-do stuff. And it was just, which one should I work on next? I have no idea because it's all over the place. I'll just pick the whiteboard today. And that's a mess. That's an absolute mess. So that's the biggest advantage for me is that it organizes and consolidates everything into one tool. The other is, again, with the notes. I'm going to jump over here to the notes. Sorry. Let me jump over to care sheets. I'm just completely lost.
It's easier to use than this, you guys. It's easier to. This is pressure time. Now, while you're doing
exactly, but it's easy to get back. If you click the wrong link, it's easy to get back. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I can look at to get into all of my notes. Is it gecko related? Is it miscellaneous? Is it isopods? Is it insects? There's my animal care stuff. Yeah. And I might have to click a couple of times down in here to get over to, Chondrodactylus. And I've got a page here with stuff about Chondrodactylus. So it might be a couple, 3 clicks to drill into the information, but again, it's all right there.
Well, and a couple clicks is not a big deal. It's better than going through a file cabinet or I'm going to make an assumption about you, Wally, right now. And tell me how accurate this is. I have an imagination of you leaving yourself a Post-it note, maybe over your monitor screen, like at the top little border. Your monitor screen? What the hell is wrong? Maybe I'm on the Flintstones. And it says, check the whiteboard. The whiteboard says, go into your Excel spreadsheet. The Excel spreadsheet says, update your Post-it notes.
I am sure I've done that where I've had on my whiteboard, update the Excel sheet to complete the tasks. And I have to go over to my Excel spreadsheet and it says add, something, add a new page on website to the whiteboard so you don't lose focus on that.
It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle.
Around and around.
Yeah, I have those Post-it notes at work all over my work area. Someone cleaned my workstation while I was away last week, and I don't know where anything is. I don't know what to do. I just was like, I'm just going to go home. I have nothing to do here. Yeah, I can't get over how yours is so well set up and so detailed. Clearly, you're spending some time in this, but you don't have to, guys. Yeah,
but this is over time too. Remember that. When I'll go back a month and a half ago or so. Hi, Nanette.
Hi, Nanette.
Hey. I'll go back a month and a half ago and say that I probably didn't have this banner here and I didn't have all of the important things here in orange. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see this or not, probably not, but my main focus areas here are all in orange. And then I've got just a bunch of other stuff that I go into once in a while. The 2023 goals is just a page, but I've got it already on my dashboard here. I can, oops, I pulled the wrong thing here. I clicked on the wrong thing. Now I'm really lost. Let me go back. There we go. So I've got my dashboard here. I can just go into one of those other pages real quick from my dashboard.
Now, do you use yours? Is it set up like I have mine for the comic book anyway, and the stories? It's set up like chronologically, and then there's little side notes that I have to different things, like, oh, this is connected to this, or this is. I can set up links from one thing to another.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So all of these are links. So all of these are links to an internal page in Notion. I can create a link to a website. I can, and this, you can create a link to internally. You can create it externally. You can create it to a video. You can create it wherever. I think maybe what you're talking about also, and I'm going to do this real quick here. We're going to do a real quick task. I don't even know what feed geckos. Feed geckos. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put feed crested geckos. Hopefully you can see this a little bit. Feed Leos. Feed babies. So I've got multiple things to do here, and I can just kind of peel these off as I do one, do another one, do another one. I can complete the tasks. Now, normally I don't put, I learned this a long time ago at work. You don't have 8 hours of work in a day. If you work 9 to 5, you don't get 8 hours of work day. You only get about 6 or 7. What do you do?
Playing around?
Watching the Flintstones, of course. What you really get is 6 or 7, because what you're doing is answering emails and going for coffee and talking to Joe about the Chicago Blackhawks game that last night, or chatting with Josh about the Flintstones. You don't get 8 hours, so you have to, consolidate that down. For work, for me, it was answering support calls. Where do I find this on the menu? Oh, well, I don't have that in a project list. I don't have that as one of my tasks. So we used to call that keep the beast running. Don't forecast 8 hours. Or if you're, like me, I work about 10 hours or more, on the business, social media, and so on. I can't use the full 10 hours because I'm kind of doing other things in there as well. So what I try to do in a day is try to schedule out like 6 or 7 hours or so. This is so important. You can't schedule the whole time that you feel like you have, or else you'll fail every single day. And the second thing is, if you even if you schedule 6 hours, if something else comes up, you can't be so rigid that you're looking at this and saying, I can't change anything. I have it on my schedule.
Yeah.
It's set. I can't. If it's more important, if it's a priority, then jump it over and say, I'm going to feed the geckos tomorrow.
There you go.
This is what
There
it
you
is.
go. Yeah.
Somebody very important reminded me that we have to have grace with ourselves. We have to have forgiveness.
That was Jesus. I think Jesus reminded you. Is that right?
We're not perfect. We're not. We're going to fail. We're going to screw up. Nanette is. We know that. Do you want to jump in here?
I'm good right where
You're
I'm
like in the other room there.
I am, because
She was in that awesome living room. I'm glad we pulled her away from that living room.
So you don't get 8 hours, and even if you can't get everything done, it's not earth-shaking. If you don't get everything done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe you should start looking at, did I put too much on my plate? Or am I spending time somewhere where really I shouldn't be spending? Time for a reevaluation.
Yeah, you can do that too. You can double check what your other time is. I try to put, sorry, I thought I heard my kid. I try to put an add to it, like, oh, I spent this much time doing this instead of this, or this got in the way of this. Can I organize this better? Daughter works 10 hours a day, and my roommate sometimes works for almost 14, 16 hours a day. Cassandra, that's the saddest crap I ever heard. Wow. Yeah, we'll talk about that some other time. You work for yourself. Your 10-hour Wally Kern's 10-hour day is for Wally and Nanette. So that's different. Hopefully, Cassandra, that your daughter and roommate get to spend some of that time on themselves. I work an 8-hour day. I maybe get 3 hours of work done. So actual work. So that's pretty nice. That's probably why I'm not making a ton more than I make. But there's just not that much to do. I work at a bank, and I get most of my work done in the first hour and a half, and then just take it as it comes the rest of the day. So my boss can't figure out why she's stressed all day. I said, come in. Don't let anyone bother you for an hour. Take the rest of the day off. It's beautiful. But
nice.
This is something that I can use. I could see where you can add in later, like my journal notes, like, okay, I meant to do this, but this happened. Or I wanted to do this, but I got tied up with this instead. 99% of my notes would be like, I want to do this, but I have a 5-year-old who's adorable, and I had to draw pictures all day or whatever I had to do. So that would help out a lot to try to see what your pitfalls are and maybe learn to avoid them.
I tell you, Josh, we could probably talk all night just on the theories of getting stuff done. Any methods that we use, any tricks, any tools other than Notion, obviously. We could spend the whole night talking about Notion, or at least another 10 minutes. But we could talk all night about ways to get stuff done. Again, I was working for, God, over 40 years. So made a lot of mistakes, but also, started utilizing tools that helped me get things done. As a job, I was a project manager. So the number one thing that I had to get done was meet the deadline. And right under that was don't go over budget. So meet the deadline meant that I had to be on task every single day. And if I'm not on task, then I needed to figure out a way to get back on task. So you develop these little tricks. One of the little tricks that I have is, and I was a huge failure at this. I would do this over here and say, okay, I'll spend more time on that later. I'll go into my emails, and I've got 16 emails. I'll click. Okay, I've got to remember to go back and answer that one and answer. And boss's boss told me one time, what you really want to get into a practice of is touch it once. Go in, and if you can answer it in less than a minute or so, answer it, get it done and out of the way so you don't have to keep thinking about it, and it's not going to stress you out that you have something more to do. Get it done, devote, half hour, and when that half hour is done, move on. Don't spend all day at it, but touch it once, get it done. and out of the way so you don't have to work on it. Another trick that I learned a long time ago was, and this is kind of a famous trick now, it wasn't
Yeah.
called this years and years and years ago, but now it's called Eat the Frog. And that means and boy, was I bad at this. I would, and other people I think are pretty bad at this too.
Boy, I was bad at eating frogs.
The concept is that you have 4 things to do. You have your favorite, your second favorite, your third favorite, and the one that you just dread. And if it didn't happen today and it got done tomorrow, it'd be like, oh, I didn't have to do that. That last one is the frog. Okay. Eat the frog. Eat the frog. Get it done. Get it out of the way so that you can do the things that you like by the end of the day. If you do the things that you like all the time, you never get the hard stuff done.
That's true. That's true. I tried to do all the things yesterday, and I could have used some Notion in my life yesterday. So we pulled up carpet. I didn't realize after you pull up carpet, there's all kinds of after fact stuff to do. So unless you like stepping on staples and nails and stuff, you got to get those out of the way. Yeah, it was just a little bit of the room. It was a hallway. And I'm wrecked. I am wrecked today. And I still had to go do running around. I had to get my kid and take her to dance, bring her home from dance, get her from school, all that. Run some errands at Walmart, of course, and still come back and work on it some more. And it was, I was eating the frog all day long. That was a chewy frog.
But you got it done, right?
I did get that done. Yes, I did in one night. So I felt like Santa Claus a little bit. Yeah. So it was powerful to have gotten it done. But at the same time, I'm dreading doing the entire living room now. So,
and sometimes you do something like that. You get the worst things done first. And oh my gosh, now it's 9:00. But I really want to read that story that I was on at the top of my list. It's 9:00. I'm going to read that story because it's fun. And that's what I really want to do. So push out the best, funnest stuff to the end, and you'll probably get those done when it's late at night and you still have, a half hour to burn. You'll never pick up that frog and eat it at 9:00.
No.
Ever.
No, don't eat a frog before bed, guys.
No.
Take a lot of Tums. Just muscle that thing down. Don't save your chores till 9:00, 9:30. Like you can't mow the lawn. You can't eat the frog. So maybe one of those cool new flashlights they have that kills vampires or whatever, that goes crazy high beam. You know what I'm talking about. You live in Wisconsin. There's people with those flashlights. It's pretty crazy. You just got to get those things done. You could even make a section of Eat the Frog tasks. Yeah. Edible frogs, something. And get those out of the way. Or at least second, do something. Maybe take a break and do something you wanted to do first.
Absolutely.
Because it can be a beast. It can be a beast to get these things.
You mentioned that, the tough things, the frog things. What I'll do is I'll try to put, let's take Wednesday here, edit weekend video. So that's really my number one project. If I don't get anything else done, I have to get that one thing done.
Yeah.
Thursdays, I have to, align Thursday's speaker, confirm. Animal, I have to post some animals to the store. In the Minnesota State tax filing, I have to do that. If I don't get that done, I can certainly push that over to Thursday. But the top 2 or 3, I've got to get those done right in the order of priority. And if I have something that, God, I really hate to do this, and I can't push it off until tomorrow, I'll try to put that first on my list.
Yeah, because you got to get it done. I mean, there's no real option, especially with your thing, with your show, keeping it on schedule. And it's occurring to me now how big a deal that is. So, although while I was on break, I gained like 6 subscribers. So, we're going to be out until December, guys. We'll see what happens. Every day of the week, mine would be like, get subs. Like, how to do that? No idea. Shorts. Yeah, clearly. I had like 8,000 views on my one short and got 7 subscribers. So that's what it takes, guys.
There you go.
7's a good number.
What'd you say, man?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't remember.
You jumped in with the word shoehorn.
Shoehorn.
What?
Shoehorn that word in there.
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know what
It's
it's.
perfect.
Sorry.
It's just wild. Yeah, no, it's so good to have these options. So, guys, what do you think? What would you guys use in the audience? All 8 of you, the Ocho. What would you guys use Notion for? What's your top priority of things that you need to get better organized? I need to get better organized at alternative drinks. The reason I'm not drinking any more of that Mountain Dew is I'm almost 50 now, and I'll never sleep again if I drink that Mountain Dew anymore tonight. Probably won't sleep anyway, but still.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I've got. Oh, you got a list of movies you want to watch?
Yeah, what were some of the movies? I had another list of movies here. Oh, there it is. I don't know why I have 2 lists of movies.
I do. I know why. Because
Why?
you're addicted to this movies and old shows. And are these new ones you're trying to watch, or what is this?
I think some of them are. I think I see a lot of old ones in here, like The King of Comedy, Shutter
yeah.
Island. Shutter Island. I've never seen that. Parasite.
You never saw Shutter Island?
Moon. Right. I don't know why I've never seen these movies.
No spoilers, guys. Shutter Island is pretty great. I thought it was great, and it got me.
Waffle eating habits.
What's that, Frank?
Frank wants to organize his waffle eating habits.
I'll have to do that.
You can do that. How did the waffle thing get started? How did that? Did it just happen?
Frank, how did that start?
Yeah, Frank.
It was you.
I don't need to get organized, but my boss does. I think my employees would say the same thing, and they're right. They're absolutely right. I'm the fireman boss. I go from project to project, just like keeping it. Let's see. Let's do this.
You can remove the Notion.
Are you sure? Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can talk about
Put
it.
me back where I go. There we go.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
Now it'll look like I'm kind of looking at you, even though I don't even know how the camera works yet.
I don't remember how waffles started, and Frank's not answering. I think they were talking one night when we were about food, and it just waffles came in, and it just kind of stayed.
Waffles just happened.
I think so. And then it kind of
remember.
It took off last year with the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas and
Waffles the elf.
The elf waffles.
Yeah.
Frank doesn't remember.
Yeah.
How he started this.
Hold on, let me go into my Notion notes and find out how
the origin of waffles.
Start.
Frank, I have a homework assignment. Go back through Wally's 8,000 videos last year and figure it out. Okay, bud. It's going to be a live stream, so that'll narrow it down to 4,000 videos. Yeah, Justin's right. It is a tool that you can keep in your back pocket. I would just start using it. I would just start using it for whatever, and then you can delete that crap. If you don't, like if it's something you didn't want to have forever, you can just delete it and get rid of it, and it's fine. I
want to mention with Notion, there are tons, and you know this, there are tons of videos out there, instructional videos. Yeah, I just came up with a sequence of how to install, how to use a dashboard like we saw Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, how to use different pieces of Notion, what it's all about. So you can go to my videos. There's a ton of other good videos out there, but more important than all of that is that you can go online and you can type Notion template to-do list, and it will come up with templates, and you can download Notion and you can click and load a template. There's a gazillion that are free, and you can go to the page and look at it and say, yeah, it's too complicated. That's too complicated. That's just right. Pull that template down, start using it. And if you find that, a couple, 3-4 weeks, it just doesn't work for you, then just drop it and load another template. Yeah.
The templates is what got me, because you sent me the one and I was like, templates, whatever, that works for you because you made it. And they're all helpful. Like that one's really good. There are some that are turds, but again, you download it, you play around with it. You don't like it, give it the boot, or just never use it. You don't have to do that. You just have to never use it.
Yep.
So it's so easy, and it's such a good product. Like, honest to God. Hey, Reed. If anyone ever hacks mine, Reed's in my Dungeons and Dragons group, he would know exactly what's about to happen, which isn't good because it's a scary campaign.
Dungeons and
It's all about scaries.
They have a kid at our school with Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's cool.
You did what?
The school, one of our science teachers started a club for Dungeons and Dragons.
See,
The kids
science
stay
teacher.
after school twice a week. The kids stay after school on the days there's a late bus, and they play the game with them.
Such a great socializing
Cool.
skill
Yes.
for kids that might not get socialized otherwise. And it's cool now.
That it is.
Let me tell you what a ripoff it is to have all these kids have access to things that are cool now. And I got the crap beat out of me for doing those cool things when I was a kid. Like, I don't regret, like, I don't feel bad that they don't get the crap beat out of them, but like, they don't know that portion. You tell them that story and they're like blank stares. They don't know what you're talking about. Like, why would that happen? Yeah, it did. Sorry, kids. It did.
So what were the other cool things that in your mind that other kids thought maybe weren't so cool that you did?
What did I think was cool that other kids didn't?
Yeah.
It's all stuff that I'm still into now. Comic books, toy collecting, kids cartoons. I'm so into cartoons, it's ridiculous. Like it's a religion almost.
Into anime or cartoons?
Cartoons, yeah. I don't get anime. I just don't get it. It's neat. It looks good, but I could watch it on mute and get as much out of it as I do trying to follow the story. Because I don't. People say it's too adult for me or it's too involved, and I challenge that. I can't stay into it. I'm too enthralled with the animation. But now there's so many that are anime style, but it's like American storylines, and that's bizarre for me because it's easy to follow because I get it. It's like our type of stories are American. So it's simple, I guess. But it's, yeah. I can't follow anime. I just can't.
Okay, so your top 3 cartoons ever.
Ever?
Your not the most popular 3 cartoons ever. Your favorite.
My
top
favorite
3 cartoons ever.
Oh, you know, it's hard because so many right now are so good. Bluey is number 1.
I've
Bluey
never
is
seen
number
Bluey.
1. You need to watch it with Crystal probably. Well, it's a little above her. It's below her pay grade. But I think she'd still like it. It's super charming. It's the most well-written thing I think I've ever seen, period. Yeah, it was originally supposed to be an adult show, like Seinfeld or something. But they decided kind of last minute to make it a kid show. And then for all of that, the writing is amazing. Like it's got good adult jokes. It's got good kid jokes. It's got parenting skills without being like, this is the number 2. They don't do any of that. No counting, no alphabet. You won't see any of that. Let's see. Number 2. All time. Number 2 for me is probably Archer. I think Archer's amazing. Archer or Venture Brothers, they're probably tied because they're
Archer,
adult cartoons.
yeah.
I was waiting for
I'm
you to
sorry.
catch up. It was like
I'm
hello.
reading. I'm trying to think of another cartoon. Somebody said the Fish Plumber said the Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Yeah, right.
Fishy Plumber, the original or the reboot? Because the reboot, well, I'm going to spoiler alert. The reboot is so much better than the original.
Wow, I like the old one.
The old one I liked, but I challenge you to try to watch it now. Yeah, I challenge you to try to watch it now. I am shocked that 90% of the people my age are not gay because of Thundercats and He-Man. Even Transformers. If you watch the Transformers movie, go watch the Transformers movie in the opening credits with that crazy psychedelic kaleidoscope thing with that weird band, whatever that music is in the background.
Oh, you know
holy
what?
cow.
I did watch that. I turned down the volume and I turned on Dark Side of the Moon and watched it. And I was just munching on some mushrooms. It was great.
Ooh, Batman the Animated Series is good. But you know what was better, Reed, is Justice League Unlimited was better. I'm sorry. It just was. So probably that's my 3. That would be my 3 then, I guess. Well, 4, technically.
Gargoyles? What?
Gargoyles was so good. Gargoyles was
I have
so
never
good.
heard of Gargoyles.
It's a Disney cartoon from the 80s, 90s, late 80s.
Why don't I know that? Because that's when our kids were all young. Gargoyles.
Yeah, Gargoyles was
check
good.
that
We
out.
were watching Bernie.
It was on the, oh God. Then yeah, Gargoyles was before their time if they were watching Barney. So,
We were watching Bernie.
Gargoyles
Okay.
is there.
So you said Archer, so that
Archer,
would lead
yep.
me to say my favorite cartoons. Boy, I'm struggling with the number 3, but number 1 would probably be Family Guy. Number 2
Okay.
would be Here I Come to Save the Day.
Mighty Mouse?
Mighty Mouse. Mighty
Oh
Mouse.
my
It
gosh.
was so cool. Tennessee Tuxedo was. Oh, I know what it is. My number
Underdog?
1. Okay, erase all that.
Okay.
Was Sherman and Peabody.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, the
Wasn't
time
that a good one
travelers.
with the history and everything.
Yep, they had the funky history. All of those were good, like the Fractured Fairy Tales and
Yes.
Underdog. That was Underdog, right? That was all
Yeah, that was all part of one conglomeration. Bullwinkle and Rocky.
Rocky Bull. Yes. All those guys. Well, no, I guess it wasn't Underdog. Maybe it was.
Might have been.
I want to say it's the same thing anyway. Josh is probably right about rewatching now, though. Yeah, you got to rewatch it. The Gargoyles. They're asking about Gargoyles remake or remaster. Here's a little trivia. One of the character designers for Archer is the gal who redid my logo for me.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It is
How
cool.
involved was she?
I drew it and then she like digitized it and updated it. So,
I mean, in the Archer
Oh.
project.
She's still on it. So I don't know exactly what she does.
Really?
I don't know exactly what but she's in the character design. So I
Okay.
didn't really. I got to ask better questions. So what I do now that I know she's in animation, I'll be like, I'm the biggest nerd. Did you see this? Hey, did you see this? What do you think of this?
Is that cool?
Yeah, what do you think of this? This is pretty cool. What did you think of this? And she's like, I haven't seen it. Well, let me know when you did. And then a week later, I'm like, hey, did you see it yet? Like, hey, you don't have a life, right? No one, you don't have a life at all. You can just do what I say. Yeah, it's just pretty fun to talk to somebody that's that big in animation because that's living it because I love it so much. Like when there's a new style, did Crystal see that new Nimona? Did she see that on? I think it's on Netflix.
That sounds very familiar.
It's like it's a weird future thing where they still have knights and.
Is that the one with
monsters.
We Don't Talk About Bruno? No. I'm glad you get my jokes.
I have a 5-year-old, so I get all those. I'd have probably watched
Okay.
it anyway, but not 47 times.
Ziggy,
What
stop.
did you do?
I don't know. I
Who's a Ziggy?
initiated Ziggy on some venture or something.
What is a Ziggy?
Ziggy is our Alexa Siri. We changed the name because during 12 Supreme Days of Christmas, I kept saying that name. So we had to
Alexa.
change it. Yeah, Alexa. So we had to change it to
Because
something
other
a little bit.
Oh.
Alexas were responding
Yes.
to our Alexa call. Alexa, give me a
So I had to
minute
change it to
timer, and
Ziggy
everybody
because
would
nobody-
have these problems.
We started putting stuff on our friend's Alexa when he wasn't around. We'd play cards at his place once a month. And when he would leave the room, we would tell Alexa to add stuff to his shopping list. And then we found out later that his wife would just like go in and just hit
Oh, no.
buy now. Like she didn't look at it. She just was like, buy now. And so they were getting all this weird stuff
My God.
in their grocery. Like, who ordered this? And so he was telling us, and oh man, that was a rough confession because I couldn't stop laughing.
I don't know if I would confess that. I think I'd just move on. Oh, that's a shame. That's terrible that happened to you. Sorry. Oh, that's so bad.
Well, he was like, this keeps happening. We keep getting this thing. Like 7 pounds of chicken wings. Like, who orders that? And one of our friends was like, well, you still haven't made us chicken wings, so we're going to keep ordering it for you. Who's
Alexa,
exotic?
please order 50 pounds of fertilizer.
You're going to get put on a list ordering that. That's not good. Who's Exotic World of Geckos? Have I seen them around here before? I don't remember.
Hi, Exotic World of Geckos.
This might be somebody that I invited to the show. If you are Exotic World of Geckos, you'll love this show. We're way off on a tangent right now, but
Way
let me
off.
tell you.
Johnny Quest, somebody just mentioned. I remember
Johnny
that.
Quest. Okay, I changed my list.
Oh, geez.
I changed my list.
Johnny Quest was good until it got used by who else used it? It was Birdman first, and then Venture Brothers did a riff on Johnny Quest, and they were the best. They made it so much better.
I'll have to see that. I loved Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest was like this adult burnout that still was in like the black turtleneck, but he was in like tidy whities, and he lived in this submersible dome thing, and it was so funny. He was like super paranoid. It was great. It was great. But yeah, so guys, use Notion. I'm gonna do some stuff for the show. Can I do some little announcements? Are we good?
Yeah.
Can I ask you permission to do something on my own show?
Unless anybody else has any questions about Notion, sure. Yeah, please do.
You guys fire up your quote. Oh, Tom and Jerry's, like, it changed the genre. So yeah, Tom and
See,
Jerry's.
I was never into Tom and Jerry, but I was into Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, Looney Tunes. The original Tom and Jerry.
Looney Tunes.
The original Tom and Jerry was trendsetting, and then they got these weird like new animators and writers, and they sucked. Yeah, unwatchable. Okay, so for the show, after some debate and some discussion, Jedi Monkey actually has some good ideas too that I didn't think about. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm suffering from some burnout and some I don't know what the word is, but I'm not having a good time with getting guests. So I was at NARBC, and this is just what I have in front of me. This is the cards that I got of people that were like, "Oh yeah, we'll come on. Yeah, that sounds great." Reach out to them 3 or 4 times, no response, or like, "Oh, come visit me in Columbus." I'm not. This isn't a road show. Like, I'm not doing that. So I haven't booked a single guest from that yet. Hopefully I'm still reaching out. Hopefully we'll get some, because I have some really cool people on the line. So like iguanas, lychees, chihuahuas, who else? Tons of stuff. I can't even remember all of it right now. Sand boas, hognose, all kinds of stuff for everybody.
If you have, I was just thinking of an idea. If you have, I just pulled it up in Notion. I see that I have an idea about this. If you have somebody on, if you have somebody on for geckos like lychees,
yeah,
I would love to be a co-host with you and participate if that would help the process at all, or if you're interested in that. I'll just volunteer. If you want me on, let me know.
I'll throw that out there. Yeah. I'll throw that out to everybody. You want to be on with me and Wally Kern?
Did you say you're going to throw the idea out, or what?
No. Yes, I'm going to throw the idea straight out. Oh, that's good, Wally. Totally going to do that.
Really do that.
Totally going to do that. But yeah, so we're talking about doing, I keep saying we're doing this, like there's a bunch of people, there's a committee here. So me and my cat. I'm talking about I'm thinking I'm going to do just 2 lives a month, 2 lives a week, 2 lives a month, one with a guest and one maybe not with a guest. So where I'm going to talk about like some hot button topics in the hobbies, things that come across my desk, right, that I want to talk about or discuss or do a hot take on or whatever. They'll be shorter. Those will be shorter because it's just going to be me and responding to questions. Someone giving Annette the old snake in the can prank. Oh, dude, you want to die, Frank. You seriously, like, you don't have much use for your life. No. I don't know. Wow. Make better choices. I love Nanette, and she loves me. I'm scared of Nanette. I'll tell you what, I respect the hell out of Nanette. But yeah, so we're going to do that. We're going to do some videos. I have some builds coming up. I'm going to film those. I'm ordering a camera, like a wireless 4K camera, so I can set it up and do a build, and you'll be able to see. We'll have bloopers in there. We might do those live. Nobody does live builds because they're boring. But I think I'll have some live, like, intro the animal to that. We're building a big thing for bingo. We're going to build a thing for morning geckos / pea puffers. We're going to build that. We're going to build, that's all we have. We might do some isopod things here because my isopod bins are in some sad shape. It's like leaves and dirt and isopods. There you go, guys. And maybe a piece of cork bark. Like, have fun. Yeah, they're down to nothing. Like, you can tell that the love is gone. But I have to get back into that. Next week, Tuesday, I'm going to go look for my moss in my section. I could do a video there too. I could film some collection videos. Somebody recommended to do a video while I'm doing maintenance because something awful always happens and it's just a story. So it would be great to have that on film. We're going to do an experiment thing, like an actual scientific experiment that may get into a journal. with the ants. So if I do it right, so we're gonna do a test run and then maybe do another one. The test is gonna be to paint the backs of 10 ants. I think I'm gonna do 50, but I'm gonna do 5 batches of 10 different colors, and then so
Have some more
you
Mountain
hear him
Dew.
yelling at me. What's that?
Have some more Mountain Dew there.
Yeah. And then we're going to see what happens. We're going to see where they go. We're going to kind of track like, okay, this is what happens. This is where the ants go once you let them back in and they brag about their new colors.
See, what I think you need to do, taking that to the next step, is that then you need to, whatever you do with that, you need to have all your thousands and thousands of ants, and you need to do a Mr. Beast kind of video. You know Mr. Beast.
I do know Mr. Beast.
Okay. So you do we're going to release 10,000 ants in this room full of 12 people. Let's find out what happens.
I'll put 10 action figures in there and see
Sure.
see what happens. We'll coat them in different substances and see which ones gets attacked the most. Actually, that's a really fun idea. But yeah, eventually, like I want to sit for a couple hours with multiple cameras, follow them and see, or leave a camera on and see,
Yeah.
okay, this is Red Squad went here. The only problem is I won't be pulling out like a team of ants. It'll just be 10 random ants. Anyway, so stuff like that. Yeah, maybe some scientific stuff. Maybe I want to do a food challenge thing for my isopods. Pull out like, I don't know how to do that scientifically though, like pulling out 20 and putting in different foods. They're just going to go to what's the closest thing. They're not really that picky. I don't think isopods are like, oh, hey, Supreme Gecko regular or Supreme Gecko protein. Yeah, they don't know. They don't know because I mixed them all together. So
you're right. They're going to go to the closest one. And if you have the camera and lights and everything, and you're moving things around that are just like we did that, one time, it was hard.
Well, we did our Podsgiving and it kind of worked. I think I had 3 isopods eating by the end of the show.
That's not a test.
Yeah, no, it's not a good test.
No.
Or to see later, like, okay, what got eaten? I don't know how to do like the science of it isn't workable. I don't think the actual
Time lapse. You would have to do something where you set it up for 12 hours and put in exactly 2 tablespoons or whatever and see, and just smack dab in the middle. And then like 2 weeks later, do the same test with like 5 or 6 foods and just, constantly do the same thing. But each one is a time lapse of about probably, I don't know, 12 hours or so.
That might work. Use the same amount of isopods. Like you can't just do it. Oh, it's a month later and you've got 50 more isopods. This one really went fast. Yeah, it did. You got hungry mouths to feed. But yeah, we're going to try to do stuff like that. So 2 lives, maybe, 1 or 2 with a guest if I can manage it. I'm just not going to try to break my back to get guests. I don't have a problem if I go back to my my normal squad, right? So like you, Russ, some of the ant guys, people that are, legitimately friends will come on anytime. And I love that. But at some point it's like, what do I talk about with this person this week? Or, what can I talk about? You're pretty good because you have a million different things to talk about. Russ keeps every kind of animal or has, so that's solid. Some of my ant guys, there's a million things to talk about with ants to some people, but there's a million ant videos out there, so it's hard. But yeah, so if you guys know people, not just Wally and Nanette, but if you know people that keep exotics, like I still want to talk about monitors. I still want to talk about whatever else. But again, I don't know why I'm getting just stonewalled by these people. I think it's the name of the show. They think it's isopods. Like, what does it have to do with this?
Maybe.
I don't know. We're going to do some isopod episodes too. Get back to that because those are going to be kind of hot take episodes though. Because that's the community that I'm actually involved in. That community. So that one I've got some good takes on some issues that I think are alarming in the hobby right now. I think it's reached a point where it's at that point where there's some scary things going on in the hobby that are going to change it if we're not careful. So, yeah. What's this?
Very interesting. We could spend all night talking about this subject.
No spoilers. Well, tune in that night. I'm just going to riff on it. So because I could have any number of guests. I could have 20 people on and do a roundtable on this because, especially after NARBC and talking to some people, there's some really questionable things going on right now. So I want to just
for something like that, like I did roundtables for isopods and geckos.
Yeah.
And I did a level 1, 101. And I just pulled like 6 questions, general questions, something like that. Maybe pull 4 controversial topics. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Selling isopods in stores.
Yeah.
And pull something like that and ask the panel, what's your opinion? What are some concerns? What are some pros and cons?
What do you want, dude? What do you want? You want your litter box to be bioactive? Stop eating isopods. Okay. I couldn't figure out what he was doing the other day. And a dairy cow had gotten out or something. And he was, I don't know how it got on the floor, but he was going crazy, but he wouldn't kill it. He just kept smacking it and sending it across the floor. And then he killed it. But after he killed it, he ate it. So, hey, I guess they taste like shrimp.
So that's another video, which isopods does your cat like the most?
Oh.
Just release a powder orange and see how much, does he do one of those?
I will say the newts won't even eat powder oranges. They don't like isopods at all. It's really weird. I thought they would go nuts, but no, they don't. Yeah, I think there's all kinds of stuff to talk about as far as like just riffing on things or to talk about, good things in the hobby, the community, because it's a great community. Good thing that comment and send in the chat. Oh God, what did Frank say that he's glad didn't make it?
I don't even want to imagine.
That's terrifying. Frank, you should probably message me that comment privately, and I'll laugh later. But yeah, guys, in closing, we got some changes coming up. I want to keep doing the show. Obviously, we're gonna have some shorts. We're gonna have some edited videos that come up. But like I said, like maybe 2 lives a month, maybe not. We'll see. But we'll definitely have content. So not as long as we usually go. So live streams will. But, live stream with a guest. Live stream with a guest will try to go a little over an hour. But the rest of them, we'll see how it goes. So we're trying to change things up. I think I'm getting some burnout. But we'll get there because I really want to have roundtable riff sessions. That's hard, Jedi, because I got to get the right people. Right? I gotta pick a squad for that, handpicked. We'll see. I want differing opinions, but people that are down to have their opinion out there, uncut, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody's down to do that. Not everybody's down to share those truths, those personal truths. They've got things they're invested in.
I think I would be hard pressed to be on a panel talking about issues in the hobby right now.
Yeah, but you could be in a panel that's like a good direction. I would bring you in to talk about like what things are headed in the right direction or where you see it going.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked about a couple of years ago, like, oh, where's the hobby headed? And we both, I think we both had like, oh, like Willy Wonka style, like, oh, it's a river of chocolate and it's gonna go right in my tummy. And now we're getting sucked
unicorns.
Up. Yeah, now we're getting sucked up that chocolate tube. So we're avoiding it like crazy, but it's not what it should be. We're on some wacko boat with some lunatic. Russ, Wally, Rachel, and Biggs. Getting Biggs on the show has been impossible. He's a busy dude.
Yeah, he is very busy.
Yeah, I was very blessed to get to. I gotta put that video together still. That we went to the shed and spent hours.
Right.
Hours. God, we were exhausted. Neither of us would say we were exhausted because we didn't want the other one to think we were old. So by the end of the day, we just sat down on a bench, like together. We collapsed on this bench. And he was like, man, I've been tired for 2 hours.
I have been too. You should pull that video and pull out, 50 seconds and use 50 seconds in a short.
Yeah, well, I did. I already did 4 of the shorts, where all of my shorts are from that trip. So, yeah, it wasn't me and Biggs. It was just like stuff that we saw. So, just really, Shed Aquarium's like one of the top 10 in the world, I think. It's amazing. So, if you get a chance, go. Snake Discovery, Emily and Ed. Yeah. I may have said some things about snake discovery at NARBC that you can't unsay. So.
What did you say?
She's real sweet, but I was stuck in line to go. I didn't know. I thought it was the line to get your tickets, and I was upset that the line wasn't moving, and it was a line to like see snake discovery, and I was so angry. 20 minutes.
I was going to say, did that emoji or whatever come up 4 hours later?
Yeah, I went by again, and I'm like, look at this line, people. I was in this line. I had my camera up over the head. I was like, this is the line that is not for getting into your wristband. This is the line for snake discovery, which I was like, honestly, I couldn't care less to go talk to her at NARBC. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't want to stand in the line to talk to a YouTuber. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Like, I think get it. She's got what, 27 million followers, so she's a celebrity.
Hold on, 28.5.
There you go. I mean, she's a celebrity. She's a legit celebrity. Like, a couple people recognized me at NARBC by my voice that I've never met, and I was like, oh, oh, me? Who,
yeah,
me?
It's our buddies. Yeah.
Oh.
You have a pen? Let me see your shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sign your neck. Let me just sign your neck. But it was, I don't know. I don't do that. I almost resent it a little bit that people do that. But I guess, I don't know. I'm not living that life. I don't have 10 million followers or whatever. You know what I mean? Or even 500. Guys, it's 500. That's all I'm asking. 60 more. We can do this. Share these videos. Maybe not.
I'll comment here. You know, the YouTubers are, you know, so I'm, okay, you and I are right here.
Didn't you just hit 15,000?
Like Russ, that's right here. Then there's Clint and, oh my gosh, all the, you know,
snake discoveries
and everybody is bio dude. I'll tell you what, though, Emily and Ed, we've met them a couple of times, and we don't know them, you know, super well or anything, but they're super nice people. So I think this has happened naturally for them, whereas some others, and not, you know, any of the Dave Coffin, a good guy, but some other YouTubers, I have a hard time because they're not sharing information. If you watch, you know, obviously Emily and Ed, they're educating and sharing experiences, and they are really good people. It's hard.
It is hard. Your show evolves as your audience evolves, and everything changes. And I get that even from my little peon. I like that you put me in with your level. That's really funny. That's very generous of you, sir. I have like 3% of your audience, and it is 3% of your audience. So please.
It's 4.5% to be accurate.
My bad.
If I were to estimate, it would be 4.5%.
I don't have my spreadsheet on. But yeah, like, they're all nice. I mean, Emily and Ed are great. I need to reach out to some of those other mid-grade. Would you get out of here? Dude.
So I was going to do that. It's 33.33%, the 3 repeating, of course.
Of course. But yeah, no, it's there's different tiers. I'm on the intro level tier still. So I'm still working on it. I'm 60 away. Not even 60 away.
Congratulations.
Killing me. No, this is baby steps. Took me 3 years. Took me 3 years to get just under 500.
So you've got to stop looking at the numbers. The numbers are killing you, man.
I know. I'm not obsessed like I was.
It's hard because you want to look at the numbers and you want to use them to gauge and measure and watch improvements and everything. And you can see the growth, but the numbers will kill you because I'll do the same thing. Oh, what happened in that video that everybody, 99.99% left the video at the 30-second mark. And then your mind is like, okay, what do I do different? And how do I change? It's hard. You can't, I don't know.
I don't look at that much anymore. I don't look into it that much. I just look at my subs. That's it. I don't even look at views anymore because the views were driving me crazy. Because it's like, we have 8 people in here right now. My video would have 10 views. So it was like, I'm one of them. So and then that counts right now. So that helps. Get Crystal on the other one. I didn't hardly swear this episode.
She's in bed. Sorry.
Come on. Come on, what is it? 9 o'clock? Almost 10.
It's almost 10. He's sleeping probably.
Oh, increase engagement. All right, Justin's got it. Oh, I need to combine my OnlyFans with my ISO buddies. I didn't even think of that.
What are OnlyFans? Is that oh my gosh. Is that
well, it isn't supposed to be that, but it's that.
It transpired into that?
I think so. It didn't start out that way. As far as I know, I don't know the whole history of it. I've never been, but it's a meme now. It's basically in the zeitgeist. So, yeah.
So I think I jumped into the knowledge of knowing what OnlyFans was right when it was doing the transition, because several people said, "Oh, you jump over to OnlyFans and set up and make it." So I think I went over. It's like, whoa, who's watching me? Get out of the site.
Yeah. You got to get out real quick. Okay, Jedi said it devolved into that. That sounds like everything on the internet. I only heard about it when the banks. Yeah, I only heard about it working at a bank because the banks decided they weren't going to take the people's money that were making money on the site, because it was essentially it was pornography. So they were like, no, we're not doing that. And then OnlyFans was like, okay, we're not going to support that content anymore. And they lost like 90% of their viewership and their traffic in a week. So they were like, never mind, we're bringing it back.
Reminds me of the scene from Aladdin with Robin Williams. She's going down. She's going down. She's breaking up.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how that evolved. That evolved as well. I'm not trying to get my thing to evolve that way. Lowest common denominator. Yeah, Jenna, that's the internet. That is the internet.
So, Frank, I think I'm going to tag that onto my Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee and see my feet. So would that bring in the big bucks?
Some bucks.
Some bucks.
To be fair, this conversation happened at the bank I worked at before this one. We were talking about OnlyFans. And I was trying to set up a crew. I called it a stable of women with decent feet that would just step on stuff. Like, that's it. That was the video. It's like 15 seconds, them stepping on a banana. And that would be it. And we'd have subscribers, $1 a month. I said, we'd get 80,000 subscribers. That's $80,000 a month. We split it. That's it. It's my ideas. It's my produce. You guys get a share.
I'm buying the freaking bananas. I want to get something out of this.
So, and that's enough. There are people out there that would pay for that, and $1 a month for. We've broken the net. Yes.
She's going down. She's going down.
Nanette, now you know how I feel when Wally came out popping tags. Now you know.
How do you think I felt?
So I'll just kind of share this before.
We're about to cut out. Yeah,
I had thought about coming on the show and doing something similar, but we got just buried this weekend with the shows and snake discoveries we went to. So then Monday hit, and that was pretty cool. We didn't see Emily and Ed, but we had a good time with Crystal. But
loved it.
Then yesterday was a full day of feeding, 10, 11 hours of feeding geckos. So I never got a chance to get into this, but I was going to come on because Notion is kind of a boring topic. And I certainly didn't bring any, excitement to the topic, I'm sure. I was going to come out like with a headset and a towel and do a whole sham Notion routine with. God.
We're gonna step out and like give yourself a fat lip and a black eye.
Yeah, the guy that did the ShamWow. Yeah, towels. Yeah, I'd have the little speaker headset on and the blue shirt.
Slap chop. We're gonna do a slap chop. So you're gonna love my nuts. We're gonna do that.
We could do that.
That's a thing, Nanette. That's what he said. He didn't mean it that way, but that's what happened. And then he got beat up by a hooker, and then he stopped being in the ShamWow commercials.
Wow.
Yeah, I think.
And they hired Danny Bonaducci.
Did they? No. Okay. No. Okay, that's parallels. That's what that is.
It's a parallel universe.
I think Frank's onto something here. We could. That could be a round table. We could put. Maybe that'll be Potsgiving.
Disgusting.
Me, you, and Russ could put the camera on our feet in a bin of like.
That's gross.
That'd be great for your cuticles, though. Think about it.
I'm sure it would. Yeah.
Enough. I'm going to bed. I'm done. Whoa.
So I don't know if I don't know if you remember seeing it or if you even saw it, but we had the Isopod roundtable. But Biggs was playing with a leach, and I think he forgot about it being on his finger.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was talking, and he pulled it off, and it was just like pumping blood. It was spurting blood. No, it wasn't that bad, but you could see the blood just trickling down.
His hand.
It's like, oh my God, this is on live.
I wanted to talk to people about keeping leeches because I think that's where it gets like, just keep mosquitoes. Like, what are you doing? Why are you? Why? I don't understand. Somebody had a
prank.
It was a prank?
No, I said he's
Frank.
disgusting.
Yeah, Frank's disgusting. Yeah, but he always is. Like, he's consistent. He's consistent.
Yeah.
I'm right there with him. I can't talk trash. I'm right there with Frank. He says what I'm feeling.
Spot treatment.
They do that with fish. It's a what spot treatment? Yes, they eat the dead skin on your feet, or hands, or whatever. Yeah, so we're getting some changes in store, people. Friday we had an idea for an on-site again, but we're not going to do that because my guy's not going to be home. I don't know if you guys remember the Kyle Sterling visits where I went to go visit my friend Kyle at his house. He has like 800 different animals at his house and a big tortoise pen that's huge. Yeah, so his parents are still supporting that apparently, but and he's got a whole bunch of new animals. I saw him at NARBC buying more stuff from Exotic Empire, Josh Adler. So he had the most amazing snakes. I am not a snake guy, but I was like, wow. Pretty snakes I'd never seen before. So
Josh is a super guy too, super knowledgeable, super guy.
Yeah, I think he's mad at me for messing up the name of his business to Empire Exotics or Exotic Empire, and I like laughed about it. I don't know. It isn't the same.
He's not that type. No,
we're not the same. Which rightfully so. Like, good for him. Stick to your guns. But yeah, he had so many beautiful animals. He always does, but he had so many beautiful animals at NARBC. It was crazy. Thousand Isopod light. Oh no, not even reading that, Frank. Thank you. You're about to get me in trouble. But yeah, guys, we'll see you. I think not next Tuesday. Next Tuesday's Halloween. But we will see you the Tuesday after. We'll be talking to Russ Wilson about Velvet Ants. Finally,
Russ Wilson from Aquarimax Pets.
Aquarimax Pets. We're going from famous to famous. It's going to be great. Then we're going to talk to Clint from Clint's Reptiles. No. I'll get a paper cutout. I mean, I would love to, but that's still on the docket to try to go visit in, what is it, Ohio?
I think it was in Idaho. Utah. I'm sorry, Utah. Isn't he? I think he's in Utah.
He's Utah. Yeah. Because it's a big old drive. I would need to get all kinds of time off to go do that, but I would love to go visit Russ and then go with Russ to Clint's Reptiles. Oh my gosh. It would be awesome. Velvet ants are wasps. Yeah, they are. We're going to get into that, Frank. Spoilers. Jeez. Can't take this guy.
Well, there goes the show. Right there.
Thanks, Frank. Let me call Russ.
Yeah.
Let me call Russ. Frank blew it.
Good job, buddy. You want to kick my dog while you're here?
Velvet ants aren't wasps. Isopods aren't real.
Done.
Isopods are shrimp. You're in Idaho. Rod Sprague, where have you been, man? He's been lurking. But yeah, so big changes. Wally's here. Wally's going to be back. I'm going to have Wally on once a month.
I'm back sometime in November, right?
I think so.
End of November?
Is it? Are you making that up?
No, I am not. This is my serious face.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize it was a serious face. I don't have you. I don't have you on. What were you coming on for?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'll put you in. End of November.
Me, you, and Russ.
Oh, yes. I haven't set that up yet. How's the 28th work for you?
What day?
I
what
need
day?
to check that because of the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas.
me.
What day is
Wait.
that?
Oh yeah, you start that right after Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah. What day is
What
Thanksgiving?
was the date?
The
It's the
28th?
22nd, I think. It's
The 23rd. The 23rd is
23rd.
Thanksgiving. You just asked that, right? So
23rd is Thanksgiving. Yep.
28th is a Tuesday.
I think it fits.
Yeah, Tuesday. We'll see.
Yeah.
The 21st to 28th. We'll get into it.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about the thing with Russ.
Yep.
That'll be fun to have you guys both on twice in the same month. That'd be awesome. But yeah, stay tuned for Podsgiving, guys. Into my whole commotion, I forgot about it. We're gonna have 4 live streams next month, so I'm already.
Well, we're gonna go down to 2, and I don't know if we're even gonna do a lot. We're gonna have 4 in November.
We're gonna stream every day,
Every day, 24/7.
2 hours. 2 hours. Yes, absolutely. Wally can do a
Do
whole
it.
24 hours. I'm gonna do a 7-day straight live stream. It's gonna be a lot of me
now,
sleeping.
Wally's bringing out the isopods and taking off his sock.
No, he's not.
Getting Annette to go to her sister's or something while we do this, so it's legit.
Gross.
If I do that, I'm going to have to, in my mind, go to Nanette's sisters and get completely released go to my happy place.
I think you're worried it's going to feel amazing,
My
and
sister's is your happy place?
I don't know.
Wow.
I think you're worried it's going to feel amazing, and you're not going to know what to do with yourself after that.
That's
Exactly.
just disgusting.
You're going to be helping the ice pods. You're going to feed the ice pods and having weird thoughts. It's not going to be good. So
Yeah.
we'll talk to you guys next time.
Now.
All right, we'll see you guys in November at some point. Thank you, Nanette, for coming on. I hope you're super glad that you joined.
Oh, I'm so happy I came home early. Got here just in time.
Yeah.
Iso Buddies out. Juglones, have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. No,
Good
2
night.
Tuesdays from now. Have a
Night
spooky
all.
Halloween.
Yay.
And it's ending, but it's not over yet. You know how this works.